So I grew up in Turkey to a relatively affluent family. And if you're like even a little bit affluent in Turkey, because of how massive the wealth gap is in a country like that, you're caked up in comparison to like American standards, where if a similar salary would not, or a similar amount of wealth would not make you, upper middle class even.
Hasan's father, Mehmet B. Piker, who is a public figure, so I'm not doxing anybody, was the vice president of Sabancı Holding, a Fortune 500 company at the time. He also represented Turkey as a delegate in the European Union. For Hasan to act like this wouldn't even make him upper middle class in America, when his father was literally one of the most powerful businessmen on the planet, is just a straight up lie, which he does a lot of in this interview. Hasan does mention that his father was the right-hand man in a holding group.
But he was successful. I mean, he was like lobbying the Turkish government. He was like the right-hand man in a holding group. You know what I mean? He was like, he had some pretty serious jobs. But
to pretend that his family's wealth was comparable to your average middle-class American is laughable. Hasan goes on to claim that his father lost everything futures trading after he had retired and Hasan went off to college.
By the time I got to college, my dad lost everything, right? Which is fine. I mean, I still had a lot of the benefits of a early upbringing.
Could you tell us, do you mind telling us how he lost everything or what?
Futures trading.
What happened in that?
Just gambled, basically.
Yikes, okay.
Had he been doing that for a while and seen some success and then just kind of went all in on it or something?
Yeah, pretty much, I think. I'm a little murky on the details. Like, I don't think he's never fully like brought it up. You know what I mean?
I can't dispute this fact in and of itself, as this information isn't public, but given Hasan's repeated lies throughout this interview, and the fact that his father is still a powerful figure in Turkish politics, being one of the founding members and deputy chairman of the Future Party, formed in 2019 by former Turkish Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoglu, I find it hard to believe that his father lost all of his financial influence, yet continues to wield so much power in Turkish politics. Hasan's next lie is about the state of the Young Turks operation upon his arrival in 2013.
You guys probably know this, but if you don't, my uncle has a YouTube channel called The Young Turks. It was like a 26-person shop. It was like a tiny operation, not that big, not that media behemoth or anything.
In 2013, the Young Turks had over 1 million subscribers, received over 1 billion views, landed a deal with Roku, brought in over $3 million, not including the $400K raised in an Indiegogo campaign, and would receive a $4 million investment from a private equity firm less than a year later. Not exactly the small operation Hasan makes it out to be.
Tiny operation, not that big.
He talks about feeling the need to get out of his uncle's shadow and fights back against people who attribute his success to nepotism.
I needed to no longer be in the shadow of the Young Turks, no longer be in the shadow of my uncle, because no matter what I did, everyone was like, nepotism. That's the reason why you're successful, nepotism. That's the reason why your Facebook, shit's popping off, nepotism. It's like, well, he's not doing fucking Facebook videos. What do you mean? He literally can't. Like,
Just because you're coming up with the content yourself doesn't mean that you aren't benefiting from nepotism when you start off with your uncle's built-in audience of millions. We can actually go back and see just how successful Hasan was as a content creator before he ever stepped foot on his uncle's launching pad. TheBroTip.com was Hasan's website where he produced videos and wrote blog entries centered around bro culture, and it's every bit as humiliating as you could imagine.
There's been a lot of reviews about how bro tip is not offensive enough, so I decided I'm gonna kick it up a notch. We have 2 babes of the week this week. 1, Lady Gaga. 2, Kate Middleton. You decide who the babe of the week is by commenting below. Shout out to Elon Musk, the ultimate swag champion of all time, for unveiling his latest invention, the Hyperloop, earlier this afternoon. Now, the serious question I have for Elon Musk is this. How do you have the time to come up with this shit when women are probably tossing their salads your way faster than you can say Hyperloop in every single corner? You're a designated genius, you're a good-looking dude, and you happen to be a billionaire. Anyway, Elon, I admire your conquest in becoming the real-life Tony Stark without the creepy facial hair, and for that, you are our bro of the week.
As you would expect, the bro and babe of the week content wasn't really attracting a substantial audience. Not only was this style of content already played out and considered corny in 2008, much less 2013,
it's vocabulary.
Vocabulary.
Vocabulary, everyone. Vocabulary.
The new manifesto.
Yes.
So it says manifesto of dude talk.
Yes.
Like I open this up and I see a brolog.
Oh, boy.
It's like the brolog is instead of a prologue.
Sure.
Called a brolog.
Well, of course.
Other things like bromunication.
Yep.
It's like communication, but the way guys do it. Bros. It's like a guys thing.
Sure.
his delivery was so unnatural.
This week's bro tip is still brought to you by me, Hasan Piker, because Mark Register failed to assassinate me.
That even people interested in this type of humor were completely unable to consume it. Hasan would also mix in some pickup artistry and give advice on how to interact with women.
On this week's Social Guru, we cover an old classic warhorse, the let's get out of here rule. This one's been passed on for centuries and helped even the Vikings get laid. I actually lost my virginity with this rule, by the way, I'm not gonna lie. So you're in the club, you finally use the 5-second rule because you're smart now, because you follow bro tip, and you start talking to this girl, it finally leads to hooking up, and you're bold enough to grab an ass cheek and then maybe even get some hand play downstairs. What is the next move? You need to get out of there, and you need to get out of there fast. Hopefully with the girl. So you have to use these 5 magic words. Let's get out of here. You might think, wait a minute, there's no way this is gonna work. Yes, it does. Let's get out of here. It's time to get out of there, and it's time to separate her from her herd, meaning her crowd of girlfriends that are going to do their best to cock block you because they're fat and lonely. If let's get out of here doesn't work, you exchange numbers, she leaves, you guys talk later, and you continue on your conquest for the rest of the night.
This content is so bad, it's no wonder why he switched over to political grifting. As you can see, when Hasan was left to his own devices and attempted to make a name for himself without the use of his uncle's platform, he was completely incapable of capturing an audience. Yet according to Hasan, starting a reaction live stream after years of appearing on your uncle's multi-million subscriber channel refutes any claims of nepotism.
That's the reason why your Facebook, shit's popping off, nepotism. It's like, well, he's not doing fucking Facebook videos. Like, what do you mean?
There's a lot more embarrassing stuff here, but I'm trying to keep this video short, so I'll just leave you with a few more things.
This week in shoutouts, I once again cover the only important news stories of the week.
Ow!
Lamar Odom has been missing for the past 4 days now, allegedly on a crack bender. God, Lamar, why did you have to be so f***ing stereotypical? I was actually referring to the men who marry Kardashian women and their stereotype of bad decision making. Who's the racist now? Oh hey, didn't see you there. I'm Hasan Piker and this is Bro Tip, where I'll be giving you just a tip every week, just for a little bit. For our Social Gurus segment, I'm gonna let you know how you can get laid because you currently sit in your mother's basement and watch YouTube videos all day. Our Bro Tip of the week is going out to all the wallflowers. This is a little thing me and my friends like to call the 5-second rule. What is the 5-second rule, you might ask? The 5-second rule is exactly when you see a girl for the first time ever and you don't think for longer than 5 seconds and you immediately react. If you think for more than 5 seconds on what you're going to do with the hot girl that just walks into the bar with her friends screaming, "Fuck guys tonight, I just want to dance, Stacy, I just want to dance," you're never, ever going to get laid, and here's why. Because us guys, no matter how confident we are, we get psyched out. For our last segment, we're going to play a little game aside from just the tip called Would You Rather. For this week's insightful question, we ask you, the audience, would you rather never eat cheese for the rest of your life but get blowjobs, or never get blowjobs for the rest of your life but continue on eating cheese? Unfortunately for our lactose intolerant audience, the question is rather simple. However, for the rest of you guys, how will you decide?
If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.